In today's video, the brand new Vivo V70. What it can do, if the Carl Zeiss camera is good here, you will find out in today's video. The V70 is available in two colors, once in gold and once in black. We have chosen the black model and show you in today's video what this smartphone can do. The heart, of course, is the Carl Zeiss camera, which has 200 megapixels, which we will go into later. The ultra-fast Snapdragon processor, OctaCore 7th generation, and of course the operating system Origin OS 6.0. But let's start with the design, connections, camera, and of course everything else. And that's why we're going to take a look at the design now. The Vivo V70 is very, very good in the hand. It also feels very, very valuable. Even if we have a Carl Zeiss camera here with 200 megapixels, the camera is not as huge as with most smartphone manufacturers. No, this one is small and it doesn't stand out as much as with the other manufacturers that offer a huge camera. For example, with our model, the top model, the X300 Pro. With all smartphones you usually have to take discounts if you say I want the best equipment. Here I have a large memory, a super fast smartphone and one of the best cameras on the market. And the whole thing at an affordable price of €599. How many manufacturers do you know that offer such equipment with a Carl Zeiss camera for €599? I recently compared this camera with a Google Pixel 10 Pro. And the wide angle could not keep up with Google here, although it costs almost twice as much. I really tried it out. You will still see that in the video. The differences between the individual pictures. And as I said, €599 for telephoto, wide angle, absolute top class. We have a battery here with 5,400 mAh. You can easily get through the whole bar. It is charged with 90 watts and it is a lithium-ion battery. Unfortunately, the battery cannot be replaced, as with many other manufacturers. To offer an optimal sound, Vivo V70 not only has speakers at the bottom, no, you also have speakers at the top. So a total of 4 speakers are available here. The display of the V70 measures 6.59 inches. It has a resolution of 2750 by 1260 pixels. With 5000 nits it is very, very bright. It is an AMOLED display that delivers up to 120 Hz. So it's perfect for playing and we'll show you that in today's video. Here's a summary of the whole thing again. We have the Snapdragon processor, 7th generation, which is ultra-fast with 8 cores. 256 GB fixed memory is not possible, but usually 8 GB is enough. You can boost this again virtually if necessary. And the 5,400 mAh battery, you can get through the day really well with it. Android 16 is here as an operating system. The Vivo V70 is extremely fast due to the OctaCore processor from Snapdragon. Applications can be opened immediately in seconds. The only thing that bothers me here is that it is full of bloatware, like with any other manufacturer. And I have the feeling that there is even more on it. And you can see for yourself what is already pre-installed here. There are many, many apps that many will not use. And you can't deactivate most of them either, because they are already pre-installed. Gemini is of course on it, it is already pre-installed. But as I said, here you have so much bloatware on it and you can see for yourself that so many are installed here. Like CapCut, Autodock, Firefox from Home and many, many more. Well, that's the question of whether you really need it. But everyone has to decide for themselves. As I said, you can see for yourself how fast this mobile phone is. Due to the OctaCore processor and 120 Hz, games can be played comfortably here. Without jerking, without it hanging, and it runs smoothly. The heat development is really very, very good. That means it doesn't get hot like most, but it's warm. So that you can really play here with joy. And I tested this game here and you can see for yourself that nothing jerks here, nothing gets stuck. And how fluid the whole thing is. As I said, up to 120 Hz the display performs here. And it is very, very bright due to the AMOLED display with 5000 nits. Another plus is the camera. If you put the smartphone on the table, nothing wobbles here like with most smartphone manufacturers due to the outstanding camera. The V70 supports dual SIM. In other words, you can put 2 physical SIM cards in here. It is a nano SIM. There is no memory expansion here. We come to the dimensions. These are 157 by 74 and a strength of 7.40 mm and a weight of around 190 grams. So it's not very heavy. By the way, the V70 is certified according to IP68 and IP69 standards. So it is splash-proof and of course it is also resistant to dust. According to a survey, the camera is the most important thing that delivers these great pictures. And that brings us to the heart of the matter, and that is the camera of our V70, which has a Carl Zeiss camera. Vivo has been working with Carl Zeiss since 2020, which is reflected in many models. This means impressive quality in terms of sharpness, detail, and much more. Let's get to the heart of the matter. This is the camera, the Carl Zeiss camera, which offers 50 megapixels on the main and super telephoto camera. And for the ultra-wide angle camera you have 8 megapixels. This ensures that we can take really impressive pictures with it. And you can see that best here. I don't want to give you any technical details here, but you have the result here. Look at the pictures yourself and make your own picture about it. And here is the direct comparison between the V70, Google Pixel 10 Pro and the iPhone Air. I don't think you have to say more about it here. You can see the result for yourself. What always bothered me was that you have a great camera here, but unfortunately no 4K 60 frames per second. Vivo has changed that now. We also have 4K 60 frames per second here for video recordings with an absolutely impressive quality. And this is what 5000 nits look like in the bright sun. Also top quality here, as you can see here, which you miss with most manufacturers. In other words, you don't see anything from the display in daylight. The zoom is what fascinated me the most. Because here you can zoom in really close, take a photo and it's still sharp. The AI really gives me the best quality you can achieve here. And this is what it looks like in practice. I zoomed in here, as you can see. And that's the result, what it looks like in the end. You have so many options here to adjust the camera that it would break the frame. To go into detail about every single function here, the video would easily take half an hour. The fact is, it's packed with AI, where you can edit everything right here. From the skin tone to the text and much more. You can retouch people, insert people, or remove things. It's all there. From night mode to portrait mode. And as I said, 4K 60 frames per second are also available on the camera this time. And what should of course not be missing? It's the Pro mode. Here you can then adjust everything yourself. From the aperture, exposure, and much, much more. Let's come to a conclusion. We have a very good camera here with a damn fast processor and top processing. Of course there are also cons. This is a lot of bloatware, way too many apps pre-installed that you don't need. Unfortunately, we have a fixed memory here. This cannot be expanded or is not expandable. Normally you can get out with 256 gigabytes. And unfortunately we don't have wireless charging here. That means we can't charge wirelessly here. If all this does not bother you, a smartphone of the top class gets a really reasonable price. And by the way, there is a super great promo action. Not only for the V70, but also for different models as you can see here. There is a big discount here. And not only on the smartphones, but of course also on the accessories. for different models, as you can see here. And if we scroll down here, you can see the prices here, so there are really fat discounts here. Of course, you can find the whole thing as always in the description. If you have any questions, then use the comment function. We say thank you for watching and goodbye.